Hey guys, so in this video we're going to be talking about resentment. And resentment can be a very automatic response to a lot of upsetting situations, right? Like let's say somebody, completely screwed you over somehow, or maybe somebody made up a complete lie about you. It can be very easy to develop a very big dislike for this person or to really resent them. So, although that is understandable, we do need to understand there are a lot better ways of dealing with it. So the first point I wanted to go over was simply just try to see where the other person is coming from. And chances are people who do completely screw you over or do make up lies that are just, completely not true, chances are these are people who are dealing mentally with their own problems. And usually it's either one of two things. Either A, they knew the right way to deal with it, but they were just in so much pain that they weren't able to do that. And it was basically just too painful for them to deal with it properly. Or B, they just simply didn't know how to deal with it properly. Maybe when they were growing up, they didn't have proper parenting, they didn't have the proper role models, they haven't, developed themselves enough, they haven't matured enough to understand what the better way of dealing with this is. So when we see it from that perspective, it helps ease a lot of that tension and ease a lot of that resentment, because you understand that this isn't really a personal thing. This isn't them just, hating you. This is more so their inability to actually deal with the situation effectively. And then the second part here is you basically want to see what you might have did wrong, even if what they said was a complete lie, right? So let's say somebody accuses you of sexual assault, or that you were harassing them, or that you did whatever thing it was, right? So although you know you didn't do that, that's a complete lie, chances are this might be just a very exaggerated version of what happened, right? So say somebody did accuse you of sexual assault, there might have been something that you did that kind of put them off, maybe made them feel uncomfortable. And we need to remember this is fine. There's nothing, we make mistakes. There's going to be instances where we do maybe accidentally make someone feel uncomfortable, and that's fine, right? Like, we make mistakes, none of us are perfect here, right? But what we want to do is even though it's fine if that happens, we do want to make sure that we take the necessary steps to make sure that that doesn't happen again, or at least decrease the likelihood of that happening again, right? So what we want to do is, what you can do is you can just simply go up to the person, or if you have contact with them, and you just simply say, hey, I'm very confused why you're saying this. From my knowledge and from what I understand, that did not happen. I'm just confused by this. And if I did do anything that was wrong or bad, I would like to know so that I can improve on the situation, right? And what that does is it not only does it show that, hey, I'm not going to let this bother me and let this ruin my day, but also shows the other person that, hey, like, I'm not afraid to own up to whatever wrongdoing I might have done. I'm not afraid to take accountability and to really learn from this situation and to be a better person because of it, right? I'm gonna choose, instead of getting, beat down by this situation, and instead of resenting the person about it, I'm gonna choose to, take this in a way that actually benefits me, right? And it benefits the other person too, because it shows them that, hey, like, this is an actual, mature person who, like I said, isn't afraid to take accountability for themselves. So, and if you don't have contact with the person, then you can just simply self-reflect, right? Try to remember what happened, and then just see, what you might have did that was wrong, right? Or maybe if there's other people there too, you could ask, them as well for their opinion on it. And yeah, so that's a good way to go about it. See what you can learn from the situation, And then the last point here is to basically just forgive them no matter what, right? Now, this doesn't mean that we put up with their misbehavior. We're still allowed to say, hey, I don't like what you did. You know, you completely lied about that. That's not okay. Please don't do that, right? You're allowed to do that. But since, because of this first point here, since we can't understand where they're coming from, and since we understand that they're very likely just suffering, and and even though it was the wrong way to deal with it, they were still trying the best they could. You know, we understand that this is very likely just the result of their problems, and it's not really anything personal, right? So there's no real reason to, you know, not forgive them, right? Because we're all going through our own shit. We're all dealing with whatever problems it is that we have, right? So that's the last point.